And joining me right now is Dallas Richardson with the United Negro College Fund. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be with you all today.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you. I mean, UNCF is something that we talk about here often on the Morning Update show, but also, as Omari stated, we both went to HBCU, so we totally get it and really understand the need for the United Negro College Fund. Before we get into your specific position, what is the United Negro College Fund and how has it been really benefiting HBCUs?
Yes, so UNCF is a national nonprofit organization that helps support HBCUs. It funds 37 HBCUs nationally. And so here in the Pacific Northwest, we like to focus on promoting HBCUs because a lot of times here in the Pacific Northwest, students don't know what a HBCU is. So that is our goal here in the Pacific Northwest.
It's a really smart goal because I think so oftentimes, different parts of the country really have a different relationship with HBCUs. And up here in the Pacific Northwest, we really could benefit from UNCF being direct about messaging to, young people, high schoolers, families, even they understand that there's a pathway for them here. What are some of the things that you guys are able to really educate families on, in particular with HBCUs here in the Pacific Northwest?
So our program is called the UNCF Portfolio Project, and it's an 11-week program that helps 11th and 12th graders through the college application process. Our goal is to help minority students and just expose families to scholarships, expose family to financial aid. And a lot of times students aren't applying to school just because they don't have time to do that. So we want to allot our students time to apply to the program and to different colleges. We just want to make sure that our students are exposed, and we want to make sure that they have the tools that are necessary to get them to their next step.
Well, one of the things that we've been talking about here is this growing trend. So you are the portfolio project director, yes? And so, you probably have a wealth of knowledge going on right now about this 11-week program, but also the direct connection that students can make to HBCUs, even as they are looking, right? Because I've been telling my son, he's a sophomore, and I'm like, even if you start emailing, admissions officers right now, what are some of the tips you guys have for families?
So we have 4 core focus areas. We go over the college application. We go over scholarships because a lot of times students aren't applying to scholarships. There's so much money that students leave on the table each and every year. We go over financial aid, and then we also go through the college admission process, seeing what schools fit for you, seeing to make sure that if you want to go in state or out of state, and even knowing how much money you have to spend and you're willing to spend. Especially now, there's just so much going on in the world. Some people want to be close to home. Some people want to go far away. So we want to make sure that our students are picking the best school for them.
Well, one of the things I was talking about was this growing trend of student athletes beginning to look at HBCUs as a real option. And, whether you have some pillars there, that are like, hey, you got Master P Son, you got all these now examples of people saying, you know what, I'm going to look at an HBCU as one of my options. How are you guys able to kind of mold your programming and your communication with families based on some of the trends you're seeing out there around HBCU admission?
Well, HBCUs have so much culture. And here, I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I attended Bennett College in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity because I was not only exposed to the culture, but the family experience that sometimes we miss in the Pacific Northwest. So we just try to let people know that not only you can go to a HBCU if you're an athlete, but you can also go to a HBCU for engineering if you're interested in that. There's so many different programs, even medical programs. We have some awesome people that have graduated from Morehouse or Spelman in so many different majors. And sometimes that's overlooked, but we still have those same exact programs at HBCUs.
Well, I think that you're really mentioning some really valid points here. I mean, there's a wide spectrum of opportunities that are there at HBCUs for all of these students that are looking for a more cultural experience. And you know what? You can have like a Black student union on your campus, but when it's primarily white or majority white, there's a culture piece that's missing. And so I felt at Howard that was one of the things that I enjoyed so much, was there was a direct injection for me of culture. I mean, immediately it was through, the professors, it was through the activities, it was just campus lifestyle. What are some of the things that you really took away from your HBCU experience that you share with families now?
That just like you're saying, there's so many opportunities at a HBCU. There is not only the culture aspect, but there's so many different clubs you can be a part of. I know my favorite part was just seeing people come from everywhere when you go to a HBCU. So my roommate was from Washington, D.C. Some of my closest friends were from California. Some of my other closest friends were from Virginia. And so I was just exposed to so many different people and so many different parts of life. Also, I love the band at HBCUs. That's one of my favorite parts. And also homecoming. We don't really see that here in the Pacific Northwest. And also Greek life. We don't really see that as well. So being exposed to all those things definitely changed my life. And I changed it for the best.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Being exposed to that environment was so life-changing for me. I love that you're here talking about this program with UNCF. And honestly, I love that UNCF understands that there's a different approach that's necessary when you think about all of the sectors of UNCF across the nation, and that you guys are being intentional to inform families on how they can get connected to HBCUs here. Utilize it as an option, you guys. So you said the program is 11 weeks.
Yes.
And so if a parent or a student is interested in this, what is it that they're to expect throughout that time frame? I mean, you're going over those 4 pillars, and at the end, what is it they really are walking away with?
Yes, great, excellent question. So within that 11 weeks, you are hooked up with a mentor that is on the same career path that you are interested in. Once you complete our program, you will be doing our students always do a presentation where we allow the community to see what they've been working on for that 11 weeks. Also, all of my seniors that complete the program is eligible for the UNCF Portfolio Project Scholarship. So that's the biggest thing. And for 4 years, you can apply for that scholarship. So once you complete our program, for the next 4 years, you're always eligible for that pot of money.
Wow. And what is the amount of the scholarship?
So it varies each year, depending on our sponsors. But my students this year was allotted $2,500 to $5,000.
Wow.
Yes.
That's really awesome. And, I deal with a son who is a student athlete. He's been in basketball since 2nd grade. I think about how rigorous his schedule is. How accessible is this 11-week program for a student who may be involved in student government or other programs outside of school? Maybe they have a part-time job and they're doing maybe athletics. A lot is on these students nowadays. How accessible is this program for those students to try to access?
Yes, so we understand that high schoolers are definitely busy. So this year we are virtual. My program starts with orientation the 25th. I've actually extended the application if you are currently interested. And it's from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, every Saturday for the next 11 weeks. And we are flexible with student schedules. If you have to miss a session, all you have to do is reach out to me and we'll make sure that you get that information. So we definitely try to be accessible to students and help with their schedule.
That's so important. And once again, another cultural piece, I feel like, because, we talk about, it has to be this way, it has to fit in this box, but that doesn't always work for our families. And so being able to be flexible and fluid with people's schedules is really important. Man, Dallas, I love that you guys are doing this. If families out there are interested, how do they get in touch with you? How do they apply? If students are like, hey, I'm a junior, I'm a senior, I need on with that. How can they apply?
Yes. So if you are interested in the UNCF Portfolio Project, I'm looking for 11th and 12th grade students. You can visit the UNCF website, UNCF Seattle. It's called Portfolio Project. I'm also looking for mentors, people that are excited and motivated to just influence our students for their next step. So please visit the website. Please apply, and the application has been extended.
Amazing. Dallas Richardson with UNCF, letting us know how to get connected to the Portfolio Project. Appreciate you joining us on the Morning Update Show today.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. This was awesome.